Welcome back to Dixie Alley Weather Center. My name is Caleb Crick. Today is Thursday, September 18th, 2025, and I've got a lot of updates for you today, especially concerning Tropical Storm Gabrielle that formed yesterday. I've been watching this over the last 24 hours. This will not become a threat to the United States at all. This will curve out to sea long before it even gets to the United States. Maybe a possible threat to Bermuda down the road, but we'll continue to watch those possible impacts as we go down the road. Right now, the system is not looking very impressive. Still very surprised that this is even a named system at the moment because it's going through such dry air and a lot of wind shear right now. It doesn't even look like it should be called should be a named system at all right now. But we do believe this will make it through these and hold together enough to where it will eventually strengthen down the road. Once again, not causing any problems to the United States, and it should be out of our hair like that. But we will need to continue to watch these other tropical systems coming off the coast of Africa and watch a little closer to home in the Caribbean for some possible development as we go through the end of September, as we'll have to continue to watch those really warm waters for anything that could spin off, especially since we're still in the peak of hurricane season. I'll also be talking about the pattern change that we're going to be seeing as we go in the next couple of days across the Dixie Alley. Hotter temperatures will be coming as we go throughout the end of this week and into the beginning of next week. Temperatures in the 90s. Again, some areas maybe even hitting 100 as you go farther out to the west. All this and more is included in this video, so let's get right into it. Here's a look at the Central Atlantic Ocean from satellite imagery right now. You can see this spin over here. This is Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Very low clouds. These clouds are not very high up in the atmosphere. Just some strong winds associated with this. It's holding together. That tells you it's a pretty strong tropical wave. I don't know if it's enough for this to be technically classified as a tropical storm, but it is by the National Hurricane Center, so we're going to abide by that. Once again, I don't make the rules here. You can see these clouds, though, that are right here that are rushing into the storm. These are trying to choke it off. This is wind shear high above our heads that is trying to choke off the system. Normally, wind shear is really good for, tornadoes and like tornado season or something. But it's actually the exact opposite for hurricanes and tropical storms. It tries to choke them off, and that's what it's succeeding in doing right now. You can see high clouds are not able to form over this low pressure system, over this tropical storm because of that. So we got some strong winds, a very big band of strong, gusty winds, 40, 50 miles per hour. But since this system is not hanging together, I don't know if we'll see it continue to stay a tropical storm for that long. We will start to see this struggle over the next couple of days as it moves off to the north and west, moving through some dry air, moving through through a lot of volatile wind shear. We'll have to continue to watch to see if this holds together. If it does, it will likely become strong eventually as it moves off to the north and west. Maybe be a problem with some higher waves and some gusty winds for Bermuda down the road. Once again, that's only if this hangs together. We are starting to see some of these taller clouds try to develop, but once again, they are getting cut off by that wind shear. So we'll need to continue to watch this down the road for some further development. Moving over to the United States, you can see we got a lot of moisture right now. The only area that is getting a lot of rain, especially today over the next couple of days, from a lot of Gulf moisture, a lot of moisture down in the Caribbean that's getting forced up into areas like the Bahamas and South Florida. You guys are going to be seeing some very high rain totals. This will lead to some localized flash flooding in some areas with a lot of training storms over the next couple of days. I'm not expecting any severe weather, not any strong to severe storms, just a lot of heavy rainmakers. Precipitable water values are very high here. And I also wouldn't be surprised as we go maybe into the beginning of next week with all this moisture that is going to continue to build. I wouldn't be surprised if we got another spin-up low like we saw in off the North Carolina and Virginia coast that we saw a couple of days ago that caused some maybe tropical storm impacts. We might see one of those start to develop again and maybe even develop into an actual named system. We'll have to watch that. Not saying that's locked in, only a few of the models are showing this, but we could see something like that with all this moisture that's going to start to build. This will continue to play a factor into what's going to happen at the end of September with all the tropical moisture that is going to be moving in, a lot of the dry air that's going to be moving out. We will have some favorable conditions for some systems to spin off some of those low pressure systems and some big systems to possibly form off of this and take advantage of these really warm sea temperatures. Once again, you can't tell anything right now. There's no model showing any really development in the Gulf of Mexico at this moment, but as we go farther into the future, we'll have to watch for the potential for that. But right now, the only concerns are going to be some localized flooding throughout the Florida Panhandle. The farther you go to the south, the higher the chances are, especially along the Florida Keys. Some strong thunderstorms are possible, especially in the Florida Keys. Couldn't rule out possible small water spout. Not expecting any tornadoes with this. If one of those does move on land, there is a possibility for that. But really, the main factor is going to be all the heavy rain we're going to be seeing over the next couple of days down here in Florida, but the rest of us remaining pretty dry and a lot warmer as we go throughout this weekend into the beginning of next week. Here's a look at a model I created just showing us what's happening right now across the United States. Right now you can see we got two low pressure systems, one up here and one over here in the Central Plains. That is going to be causing some severe weather across some of the Central Plains today. Iowa, Missouri, down through parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas. A few scattered storms, severe storms. Those won't make it into the Dixie Alley because we have this high pressure system that is dominating most of the Dixie Alley right now, sitting up there in Kentucky. That is going to keep it dry for most of us, except for those along this stationary front right now. We are getting a few scattered summertime showers and thunderstorms, not expecting anything severe, but a few heavy rainmakers over there in central Alabama, central Mississippi. Nothing to worry about there. This should be out of here by tomorrow, and most of us should be pretty dry, except for those in the panhandle of Florida. We are seeing this low pressure system right now that is off the coast of Florida, causing a lot of moisture to be drawn up into this low pressure system, causing a lot of heavy rainfall across much of central and southern Florida right now. That is going to lead to some flash flooding over the next couple of days, some lightning. Make sure you're indoors when you hear thunder. These lines are just showing the warm air. The orange lines are showing the warm air coming into the fronts, and the blue arrows are showing the cool air getting sucked in behind those fronts. This is one of those more classic fronts that you see. That's why we're getting those severe storms in the plains. Nothing for us to worry about in Dixie Alley. We're going to be remaining pretty dry. So just the same story over here in the northwest. High pressure dominating. Higher temperatures are going to be the main story though for much of the U.S., especially as we go into next week. And this is why the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook by the Climate Prediction Center is agreeing. We will be seeing above average temperatures for much of the U.S. as we go into the next couple of weeks. We do believe we will have much above average temperatures for many areas. Doesn't mean, once again, we won't see below average temperatures in some areas. We will see that, especially if we get some stronger storm fronts coming through. I do believe we will start to see the higher chances for precipitation, more rain chances as we go into the beginning of next week. I'll talk about those in a minute. We'll see multiple storm fronts, maybe a chance for the return of some strong to severe storms maybe as we go into next week. I'll be watching the possibility for that. We will start to see the return of fall weather, I do believe, as we go later into September. Not yet. We will still see those hotter temperatures. If we get a front slide through, though, we could see some cooler temperatures in some areas just for a couple of days. Then the above average temperatures will return. But we are going to start, as we go farther into fall, see those stronger low pressure systems. We aren't going to be seeing as many of those yet, but we could see a couple of those, especially as we go into the next week and maybe the week after that. We could see some strong low pressure systems bringing in some hefty rainfall amounts and some maybe strong severe storms as we go into next week. Not locked in, but we could see once again a few storm systems. We will see above average rainfall though throughout much of the Dixie Alley. But focusing back on the temperatures, we will see above average temperatures well into most of the rest of September. I do believe we will see those below average temperatures as we go into October. But for now, the main story remains the heat. The farther you go out to the south, the higher the temperatures will be. Florida remaining the main, key area getting the highest temperatures. That's where you guys are going to be having the most rain. So if you guys in Florida do get that rainfall, though, it should cool it down. It shouldn't reach the 90s or the upper 90s like some of these models are showing, especially if we have that moisture continuing to build from the Caribbean. Now, taking a look at the future radar, just seeing what kind of rain we could see as we go into next week. We will start to see the return of some more rainfall and some more storms as we go farther into the week, maybe next week. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will be by September 21st. This will be by the beginning of next week, Monday next week. We will see some scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout much of the Dixie Alley. We do believe that high pressure system will move off to the north and west towards areas like Maine, and we will start to see the return of some storms across much of the Dixie Alley. A lot of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, Florida don't need to worry about any dry period coming anytime soon. It looks like you guys are going to be pretty wet for as far as we can see into the future. The same weather pattern for Florida has really been in play over much of the summer. You guys have been seeing the higher temperatures and the wetter weather pattern that we've really all summer. You guys have been really not seeing a break in those high temperatures and those high precipitation chances. Some days haven't been as hot as others, and some days haven't been as rainy as others. But for the time being, you guys are going to continue to see that wet and rainy weather pattern along with those higher temperatures. But we will, much of the Dixie Alley will start to join you guys with those daily chances of some showers and thunderstorms as we go through the day. I do believe we will start to see a lot more rainfall, a lot more activity across the Dixie Alley going farther into the future. Going back to Tropical Storm Gabrielle, here's a look at what the projected track for that is by the National Hurricane Center. You can see the wind field of this thing really large right now. Just some, not a lot of rain with this system, not a lot of cloud cover even with this system. You saw that on the radar, the wind chill really knocking this off. But some gusty winds, no matter what, out here in the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know if somebody's like on a boat out here or anything, needs to be heeding the warning or something. But really nothing, no land in immediate threat from this system. Down the road, we will need to watch Bermuda for potential impacts from this system, but I do think this thing will slide far enough to the east that it won't really cause any problems for anybody. Really dodging bullets with every system that we've gotten this year. I don't know if we'll be that lucky going forward, especially if any system develops over here in the Caribbean and moves up into the Gulf of America, but we will need to continue to watch that as we go farther into September. No threats right now. Tropical Storm Gabrielle, we can watch from a distance, see how big this becomes, but really nothing concerning for the United States, especially as we go into the next 7 to 14 days. And once again, that is all the weather info I've got for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's video and supporting the channel. If you're new to this channel, make sure you click the like button and subscribe for more daily awesome videos like this one. I try to post forecast videos every single day, so try to do yourself a favor and not miss one of those updates when they come out, especially as we get deeper into hurricane season for those spin-ups that could occur maybe in the Caribbean as we go farther into the future. Continue to monitor that threat. Right now, things are pretty quiet. Just get out there and enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. We will start to see those storm systems start to come back or return to the Dixie Alley as we go into the beginning of next week. Once again, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next one.